Good evening, boys and girls. NC Hill here. Today we're going to start about testing our gear that we carry every day. Let's get this video started. Part of being self-sufficient is always being prepared. So let's say you're out in the wilderness, you're on a day hike, you're camping, four-wheeling, what have you, and you have the necessity to start a fire. First off, I want to have a Bic lighter, some kind of lighter, some modern lighter to start a fire. But let's say we didn't. Everybody's got their to-go bag, their get-home bag, their bug-out bag. They've probably got a ferrocerium rod, one of the magnesium fire blocks like we've talked about before, or something like that. Today I have on me one of my favorite fire starting rods. It's an Uber-Lebin. I probably butchered that. Ferrocerium rod, and I have a Pro Camp Stick fat rope stick, which is like a cotton rope that is impregnated with wax. So we're going to try that. It has been raining for days here in the Carolinas. We just had a massive storm come rolling through. It probably rained 1.5 inches in 20 minutes. We've had over 4 inches of rain in the last week. So everything is damp and wet, soaked. So first thing before we build a fire, we've got to hunt some tinder. Once we get that fire going, once we get whatever we got burning, we've got to be able to add fuel to it, whether it be leaves, sticks, twigs, straw, whatever. We've got to add something to it. Everything is soaked out here. So we got to look around. We got to find something dry, something we can get burning. So let's take a look. Okay, here we are in my backyard, and as you can see, everything's pretty wet. The old fire log's wet. The log here on the ground's wet. It's wet over here. Everything's wet. Where are we going to find something to burn? So let's look around. Normally, this cedar tree right here, we could scrape some bark off of it. The deer like to rub this thing, so it's pretty warm. But this stuff is super wet right here. Normally we could use this stuff. Now if you peel it off and you look on the back side, it's still dry. So we're going to take some of that. So we've got some of that. Dead cedar burns really well. So we're going to break off some limbs. That was still a little dry. If it bends, it's not really dry, so we're probably not going to be able to use it. But if it snaps, it's going to make good fire starting material. So we'd want to collect up a bunch of this type stuff. Get it where we're going to start our fire. Starting a good fire is all about preparation. So we're going to put that there. Let's take a, that stuff's still damp. Then we're going to need something drier than that to get it started. A good place to look is under logs. Something that didn't get direct water, direct rain. So let's check right here. Oh, see right here? Look. These leaves right here, even though it's rained and it's down a hill, these leaves right under this log right here have stayed dry. So we're going to get some of these. So we've got a handful of these leaves. They're dry. Relatively dry. So I think we got a good start. What else is there? Look around, look under stuff. Maybe there's a old piece of board or something you can lift up and there's dry wood underneath it. Whatever you can find. Okay, so we've collected our tinder. We've got some dry leaves. We've got some branches and some bark that isn't too wet. So now we're going to prepare it and get ready to try to start a fire. Okay, I got out here the other day and tried this while it was raining. I said, let's test some gear, put my poncho on, come out here with my fire starter and my fire rope. Could not get started. As soon as I started trying to make a fire, it started pouring buckets. So if you're out in the wilderness and the conditions aren't favorable, first thing you want to do is seek shelter, build some shelter. If you got a tarp, use a tarp. Find something that's protected from the elements. After 20 minutes, I couldn't get the fire started and my poncho started to leak. So I quickly found out my poncho was no good, and that the way I was trying to start a fire with the amount of rain that was coming down, was no good also. So if any of that video is any good because my camera died, I will roll it in here and you guys can watch me futilely attempt to start a fire.
Yeah, today's not quite sunny, perfect conditions. It's raining. It's pretty much raining for 2 days. We ran Saturday. Everything's wet. We're going to build a fire. It's wet. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to have the capability to start a fire. I have a fire steel. I have some hot wax rope. That's what we make start a fire. We have to collect some tinder. So if we build a start a fire, we have to keep it going. We're going to burn. So first off, we're going to find some stuff that we use. Once we get a fire going, we have a couple minutes, and we got to build a fire. You know, it's raining, it's cold, you're miserable. That's when you build a fire. That's when you get the capability to build a fire. It's easy to build a fire when it's bright and sunny. Beautiful day, but today, not so nice. So what I like to do is we're going to have 5 times to dry bark. This secret trick we can play, but it's soaking wet, soaking wet. So I don't think we use our other places of trees for houses of leaves. Dig down with it and make some dry leaves underneath. We're going to take some small sticks, we get another fire going, that the sticks are right and start burning. We're trying to do some those thousands of sparks. This is we have to start fire. This is where you do your test yourself. Those things capabilities. Also today, we're trying to get a fire. We're just trying to itch. Come on. Almost. Come on. Right, use your fast, you can the other. Rain this fast. Almost. It's pouring rain, it's pouring rain. You're freezing, what are you going to do? Get up there, you got to start, you so wet. You're going to keep your head. Let's try to get that. Dry it out. Here we're going to wait, that's where shelter up. Let the rain stop, but it doesn't. What are you going to do? Come on. Here's the other side, yes. Press that again. Dry it out. All the time, see where it's like better. Press that again. You're seeing a lot. We're freezing people. I mean, test your gear. If some people want to say, whatever, make sure you're using it. Every day getting 90. When people come down. Are you on fire? No. We're going to do fire. These are just where you can get fire. And so now, whenever it's a whole lot of fire. Pop it. And so, I'm sure that we're not out. I hit that. Again, first part now. It's 13 miles slow. We're going to go to the fire. The rain is 2 minutes. You can think about that.
So what we're going to do here, first off, we're going to prepare a dry tinder. Let's get it something more manageable. Tear it up a little bit. It's still a little damp to the touch. It's not wet, so I think we'll be good on that. We'll make a little pile of that. Break your leaves up. I wouldn't want to throw all these leaves on whatever we get started at the beginning. Okay. Then I think we'll want to add our bark, which is still damp, a little bit wet. Inside's pretty good, so we'll break it apart. Fire is all about fuel and oxygen. So breaking stuff apart, tearing it apart, ripping it apart, spreading it apart is all about getting more oxygen to the fuel, which is going to give us a better chance. That's full of water. That's obviously not going to be part of our fire starting. So we'll put that there. And then we got our twigs, and I think we'll break them up once we get our fire started. This bark is still outside, so we'll get something going to dry it quickly next time. Don't forget, like more fuel before the system gets started. We need to have more available if you want to start this fire. This lasts a few minutes. We're also going to start a fire my fire starter. This is what you are going to start fire. It's right for the camera for the presentation. Let's see if we're good. So cross this all the way. Okay, first off, this fire still comes with a shock cord. I guess you could try to light with a shock cord. I don't really like that, so I keep this knot very loose. And I always just untie the striker from the ferrocerium rod. We've already used the striker before, so we've cleaned off that black lacquer outside, and it should be good to go. And now we're going to use the Pro Camp stick, fat rope stick. It's a cotton rope that's infused with some kind of wax. What I like to do is push a little bit out of the tube there, take your knife, cut us off a little bit. Good. We could use the cardboard tube to burn also as fuel, but push it back in there, save it for later. And now we're going to take these little pieces of rope. We want to fray them up. We want to open it up, give ourselves as much oxygen as we can get to our fuel. So just, you can rub it between your hands. You can do that number, which tends to ball up more. I just like to take it and pull it apart. Right, just get a bunch of little fine threads there, as you can see. Put that right there. To take our striker and our ferrocerium rod, get it set up. So we want these sparks to hit one of these fine threads and start smoldering and basically set it on fire. So this striker that comes with the ferrocerium rod has this end right here. It's almost like saw blades, so you can use it to take wood and shave it. And we see how it chews it up. We can make fine wood shavings. See how that chews that right up? So right there. We'll add that to our fire pile. It has a bottle opener. It has this side, which I can never really get to strike a fire, and but that point right there seems to work great. Let's take our ferrocerium rod, aim it towards our fire tender. Almost. Almost. We don't want to blow our fire tender too far apart. There we go. So now that we've got our fire started, take and add some of our dry leaves. Let's add our bark. Now, these aren't as dry as we thought they were. You have to get out and test your gear. You have to learn to build a fire. You have to build a fire when you're going to need one. The great sunny day, you don't need a fire. It's raining, it's wet, your hands are cold. This could save your life. Almost smother it out. Stuff is really damp still though. Just want the fire to take its time and dry our timber out. It's very, very damp. Hold it up a little bit, let the oxygen get in there. Start adding some of our tinder. It's all about finding dry tinder, as dry as possible. We got a good hot center started our fire, or we're not going to succeed. Then we'll smother it out.
Okay, the fires went out. So let's get some more tinder. Like I said, it's easy to start a fire when everything's dry. What are you going to do when everything's wet? That's probably when you're going to fire the most. It changes everything. So I think this, I don't think we have any hot cinders left. Any hot cinders left. Let's try them. There's one. There we go. The cedar isn't burning as good as we thought it was going to burn. Don't give up.
Take and break our rope apart a little bit, I guess. Got one hot coal in there. If you see hot coals, push them towards your tinder. And we're out. So we may have to go back to our ferrocerium rod that we put up. Let's go ahead and get us some more fire starting material while we got it out. Go ahead and break it up. Fibrous as possible. So now we've got a good start to our fire. We're just going to keep on feeding it with the dry stuff we can find. some dry bark. I think we have a good start to a fire here. Now you would already need to have some more fuel over here, some more limbs, some more twigs, more sticks to feed this, let it dry out, get this fire good and going, get you a good hot little fire before you start to expand. That's why you have to get out and test your gear. Get out where you would normally do it. Make sure you can start a fire in the damp. Make sure you can start a fire in the cold. Make sure you can start a fire when it rains. Make sure the gear you have to start a fire is adequate. Test your rain gear. Test your boots. Test all your gear. If you fail the first time, don't give up. Keep on trying. You'll get it going. Knowledge is one of the best preps you can have. Now, if I had more room here, I'd like to build a little teepee out of sticks and twigs and stuff and just get me a good hot fire going. But I think we could do with that. We definitely want to put some more of those leaves on there that are pretty dry, get this thing going. Dry this bark out, dry these sticks out so that they would catch, but we could start a fire with this. Give it a little oxygen. We'd be cooking marshmallows in no time. Okay, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. More videos are coming. Till the next time, be safe, keep your distance. Peace out. And always test your gear.